In a time of great turmoil and change, more than 2,500 years ago, a wise teacher named Confucius walked the earth. He lived during a period in China known as the Spring and Autumn period, a time when kingdoms fought and the old ways seemed to be falling apart. Confucius saw the chaos around him and wondered how people could find peace and order again. He believed the answer was not in grand battles or complex laws but in something much simpler and closer to home. He believed that the world could be healed if people started by healing their own hearts and their relationships with one another. This was the beginning of a philosophy that would shape cultures for centuries. Confucius was not a philosopher who was interested in abstract, otherworldly ideas. He did not spend his time debating the nature of the cosmos or what happens after we leave this life. Instead, his focus was firmly on the ground, on the reality of human existence and the challenges we face every single day. He cared deeply about our actions, our words, and how we treat the people around us. For him, the path to a good life and a stable society was built on the foundation of our daily interactions. It was about how a child speaks to a parent, how a friend treats a friend, and how a ruler cares for his people. True wisdom, he taught, is found not in isolation, but in our connections with others. The core of his teaching was a simple yet profound question: how can we become better human beings? He didn't offer a magic formula or a set of rigid commandments. Instead, he offered a guide, a way of cultivating our inner character so that our outward actions would naturally bring harmony to the world. He understood that a peaceful society is not just a collection of individuals living side by side. It is a network of people who are bound together by shared values, mutual respect, and a genuine sense of care. His philosophy is a journey inward, a process of polishing our own spirit so that we can shine brightly for others and help create a world filled with warmth and understanding. This path to becoming a better person, or what he called a junzi, a noble or exemplary person, was accessible to everyone, not just the rich or powerful. It didn't matter if you were a farmer, a craftsman, or a scholar. Everyone had the capacity to cultivate goodness within themselves. Confucius believed that education was the key to this transformation, an education that was not just about learning facts, but about learning how to live with integrity, empathy, and grace. He traveled from state to state, not seeking power for himself, but hoping to advise rulers and teach anyone who was willing to listen, sharing his vision for a world where people lived in harmony with each other and with the natural order of things. At the very center of Confucius's teachings is the beautiful concept of Ren, which can be translated as benevolence, humaneness, or perfect goodness. Ren is the warm, compassionate heart that recognizes the humanity in every single person. It is the feeling that connects us all. Confucius explained it with a simple rule: do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. This is more than just a passive guideline. It is an active call to empathy. It asks us to constantly put ourselves in other people's shoes, to feel their joy, understand their struggles, and always act with kindness. Ren is the inner virtue, the source of all moral action, the quiet voice in our hearts that guides us to do the right thing simply because it is right. If Ren is the warm heart of Confucianism, then Li represents the proper way to express that warmth. Li refers to the rituals, etiquette, and rules of proper conduct that structure social life. It's about knowing the right thing to do in any situation, from how you greet an elder to how you perform a public ceremony. To some, this might sound restrictive, like a set of stuffy, old-fashioned rules. But for Confucius, Li was the language of respect. It provides a framework that allows our inner Ren to be expressed gracefully and appropriately. Following Li is not about blind obedience. It is about showing others that you value them and the harmony of the community. It turns our good intentions into beautiful, respectful actions that everyone can understand. The third essential pillar is Xiao, or filial piety. This is the virtue of respect, love, and duty towards one's parents and elders. Xiao is the root from which all other virtues grow, because the family is the first place we learn how to love and care for others. It means more than just obeying your parents. It means honoring them, caring for them in their old age, and bringing a good name to the family. Confucius believed that if a person could not be a good son or daughter, they could not possibly be a good friend, a good employee, or a good citizen. The lessons of gratitude, sacrifice, and loyalty learned within the family are the training ground for developing Ren and practicing Li in the wider world. These three pillars, Ren, Li, and Xiao, are not separate ideas but are deeply interconnected. working together to create a complete and virtuous person. Your inner benevolence, Ren, is the motivation. The proper social customs, Li, are the method of expression. And your respect for family, Xiao, is the first and most important practice field. Imagine them as a tree. Xiao is the root, anchoring you in the soil of your family. Ren is the trunk, the strong and compassionate core of your being. And Li is the branches and leaves, the way you reach out and interact with the world in a beautiful and orderly way. Together, they help us grow into people who can create harmony both within ourselves and in the world around us. Confucius taught that a strong and harmonious society begins in the home. The family is a small kingdom, a microcosm of the state. When a family is governed by the principles of Xiao, Ren, and Li, it becomes a source of stability and virtue. For instance, when children practice Xiao by listening to their parents and showing them gratitude, they learn the fundamental lesson of respect for authority and tradition. In turn, parents have a duty to be benevolent and guide their children with love and wisdom. This creates a cycle of mutual care and respect. Simple acts like sharing a meal together, listening to an elder's stories, or taking care of chores without being asked, are all expressions of these values, weaving the family fabric tighter with each thread of kindness. These values naturally extend from the front door of the home out into the community. A person who has learned to be compassionate, Ren, and respectful, Li, within their family will carry those same qualities into their interactions with neighbors and colleagues. They will treat their elders in the community with the same deference they show their own grandparents. They will be honest in their business dealings because their character has been shaped by a desire for integrity. In this way, the community becomes like a large, extended family. People help each other not out of a sense of obligation, but out of a genuine feeling of connection and shared humanity. A strong community is simply a collection of strong, virtuous families. Confucian ideals also provide a clear moral compass for leaders, from a small-town mayor to the head of a nation. A good leader, according to Confucius, must be a living example of Ren. They should govern with benevolence, treating their people as a father would treat his children, with care, protection, and a deep desire for their well-being. A leader who practices Li will act with dignity and follow established customs, earning the people's trust and respect not through force, but through moral authority. When leaders are virtuous, their goodness inspires the entire society. People will follow their example, and social order will arise naturally, without the need for harsh laws or punishments. This ripple effect, from the individual to the family, to the community, and finally to the entire nation, is the heart of the Confucian vision for a perfect world. It is a bottom-up approach to creating social harmony. It doesn't rely on a powerful government to impose order from above. Instead, it places the responsibility on each and every person to cultivate their own character. When individuals are good, families are strong. When families are strong, communities are stable. And when communities are stable, the entire nation will be at peace. It is a beautiful and optimistic view of human potential, suggesting that a better world is possible if we each commit to being better people. Even in the bustling high-tech cities of 21st century East Asia, the wisdom of Confucius remains deeply woven into the fabric of society. You can see it in the profound emphasis placed on education, not just as a means to a good job, but as a path to self-improvement and moral development. The belief that students should show deep respect for their teachers is a direct echo of Confucian values. In the corporate world, the concept of the company as a family, where loyalty and group harmony are prized over individual ambition, also has its roots in Confucian thought. These ideas provide a sense of stability and cultural continuity in a rapidly changing world, reminding people of the importance of community and shared obligations. The teachings of Confucius offer us timeless tools for navigating our own modern lives, no matter where we live. In an age where digital communication often feels shallow and disconnected, his emphasis on Ren reminds us to seek genuine, empathetic connections with others. It encourages us to listen more than we speak, to offer help without expecting a reward, and to see the shared humanity in people who may seem different from us. Practicing Li can be as simple as putting away our phones when someone is talking to us, holding a door open for a stranger, or using polite language. These small acts of respect create an atmosphere of warmth and civility in our daily interactions. For students and leaders alike, this ancient wisdom provides a powerful guide. A student can apply the principle of Xiao not only by respecting their parents, but by honoring the sacrifices made for their education through hard work and diligence. A leader in any field, a manager, a teacher, a parent, can strive to be a junzi, an exemplary person who leads by example, not by command. By acting with integrity, showing genuine care for their team's well-being, Ren, and maintaining professional decorum, Li, they can inspire loyalty and create an environment where everyone feels valued and motivated to do their best work. This is a more sustainable and humane model of leadership. Ultimately, the message of Confucius is a hopeful one. He teaches us that we all have the power to make the world a little better, starting with ourselves. His wisdom is not locked away in ancient texts. It is a practical philosophy for living a more meaningful, connected, and harmonious life. By cultivating benevolence in our hearts, practicing respect in our actions, and honoring our closest relationships, we can strengthen our families and communities. Let us embrace this 2,500-year-old wisdom and use it to build bridges of understanding and kindness, creating a world where, one person at a time, we can restore harmony and find our way back to our shared, compassionate heart.